The ship returned to Mokpo about 9 hours later. The operator suspended operations while authorities inspected the hull and conducted safety checks. School non-regular workers will go on strike today, causing disruptions in school meals and after-school care. The nationwide coalition representing school support staff announced that members in Seoul, Incheon, Gangwon, Sejong, and Chungbuk will join the walkout. Wage negotiations with education authorities have been ongoing since August, but ended without agreement. The coalition has about 94,000 members. Authorities expect operational problems and are preparing contingency plans, including simplified menus or bread and milk substitutes, alternative care programs, and flexible class schedules for special schools. The strike will be held region by region over several days. A similar one-day strike last December led many schools to suspend meal services and reduce care programs. In local news, Busan is hosting the WBGS 2025 International Symposium this morning in Haeundae. WBGS wide bandgap semiconductors made with silicon carbide or gallium nitride instead of silicon offer high voltage and heat resistance, making them key next-generation power chips. They reduce energy loss and are widely used in electric vehicles. Now in its 9th year, the event will share global trends in materials, policies, technology, and commercialization while strengthening industry academia research networks. Around 250 participants will present research, appoint advisors, and review the international conference results. Busan hopes the symposium will help it lead global power semiconductor development and raise the city's profile in the sector globally. The completion ceremony for the 15-minute city's second Happy Challenge project for the Gwaebab Gamjeon area will be held today at the Sasang Plaza Road Green Carpet. The project aims to restore spaces divided by roads and railways into walkable, community-friendly areas. With a budget of 36.2 billion won, it includes 15 initiatives across almost 7 square kilometers. Its first outcome is the Green Carpet Project, which removed parking lots and reduced road space along 580 meters of Sasang Plaza Road to create wider sidewalks and a linear park. By 2027, Busan plans to finish remaining tasks and expand key 15-minute city facilities to improve residents' quality of life. In international news, for the 21st consecutive year, the UN Third Committee adopted a resolution criticizing North Korea's widespread human rights abuses. Proposed by 61 countries, it highlights violations, urges accountability, and calls for improved conditions for humanitarian staff. South Korea returned as a co-sponsor under the current administration, stressing continued international cooperation to improve North Korean human rights. And now for today's weather. Current temperatures are 12 degrees Celsius under clear skies. Daytime highs are expected to reach 16 degrees. That wraps up this hour's news. Thank you for joining us. You're listening to BEFM, 부산영어방송.
Your best choice. BEFM, 부산영어방송.
Coming up next is Busan Worldwide with Stephanie Yoon. BEFM, 부산영어방송.
Welcome to Busan Worldwide. Good morning, good morning. Musical theater. It is a living, breathing form of art that no screen or headphones can ever replace. We can feel the actor's voice, the tension of the orchestra, and the emotion revealed under a single spotlight. These moments only happen on stage. Now, next year marks the 60th anniversary of Korean musical theater. 네, 한국 뮤지컬은 내년이면 60주년을 맞습니다. And since the industry began with the 1966 production 살짝이 없어에, it has grown into a major cultural industry with annual ticket sales now estimated at nearly 500 billion won. And today, Korean original works such as maybe Happy Ending have reached a level of quality and originality that earned recognition far beyond our borders. As the musical industry continues to expand, Busan is also emerging as a key city for the performing arts, hosting world-class productions, nurturing creative talent, and drawing audiences from across the country. 네, 이런 흐름 속에서 부산 역시 공연 예술의 중심지로 성장하며 국내외 관객들을 찾는 문화도시로 자리매김하고 있습니다. Well, this is Busan Worldwide, and I'm your host, Stephanie Yoon.
This is Busan Worldwide, your window into Busan, your bridge to the world.
That's right, you're tuned into Busan Worldwide live this Thursday morning, November 20th on BEFM 부산영어방송, 90.5 FM in Busan and 103.3 FM in Gijang, Jeongwan, and Noksan areas. Now, as Busan continues to grow as a city of performing arts, the musical Wicked, one of the world's most celebrated musicals, has arrived in Busan. Wicked is a glittering, award-winning show, a Tony and Grammy winner, but its power runs deeper than its trophies. The show turns the simple division of good and evil on its head, inviting us to see the world from a different perspective and to confront the roots of prejudice, misunderstanding, and exclusion as well. Now, Elphaba's experience being shunned because of her green skin asks us to reflect today on how prejudice and hatred still shape lives. 이 초록 피부 때문에 차별받는 엘파바의 이야기는 오늘 우리 사회에 남아있는 편견과 혐오를 다시 생각하게 합니다. So on today's The Interview, we will welcome two performers who will bring this story directly to local audiences. Sheridan Adams, who takes on Elphaba, the green-skinned woman who rises against prejudice, and actor-creator Liam Head, who plays Fiyero, a prince who learns what truly matters beyond title and appearance as well. We'll talk about the force of live performance and the unique moments that these artists hope to create with Busan audiences. Now, listeners, you do not want to miss today's show. But before we jump into today's The Interview, let's talk about today's text topic question. Now, as I mentioned today, we're talking about the musical Wicked. And in the musical, Fiyero is a charming, confident prince, right, who starts out carefree and popular. But over the course of the story, he grows to see the world more deeply. So the question is, like Fiyero, what is the one irresistible quality you possess? 네, 오늘의 문자 주제입니다. 마치 피에로처럼 엘파바와 글린다의 마음을 사로잡을 수 있는 여러분만의 치명적인 매력은 무엇인가요? Maybe it's your smile, maybe it's your voice, or maybe it's your patience, right? I'm going to ask Chang PD, what is your quality? Patience? Other PD, do you agree with? Oh, agree. Okay. Actually, I absolutely agree. I think you're very patient. Well, listeners, just like that, you can send us your messages to pound 9050 for 101 or for free through Kakao Talk or YouTube live chat. Lots of messages coming in. We have Seoyeon Kim Nim saying love you. I think she's talking about our stars in the studio. We have Jenny in Hong Kong Nim saying hello, hello. Lots of green hearts we see on YouTube Live. We have 촉촉한 초코님 sending us a lot of green hearts and saying welcome, welcome. And of course, Benny님 and Kim Youngmin님 saying hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. With that, let's jump into the interview. now it's time for the interview. The power of a musical doesn't come only from what happens on stage. A performance becomes our own story when the characters' journeys overlap with our own experiences and the questions we carry in our hearts. Now, Wicked has endured for so long because it's a story of someone who has lived under the weight of others' expectations, finally learning to rise on her own. The journey of Elphaba, right? Elphaba mirrored the way all of us grow and find our place in the world. And the fact that this production has come to Busan shows how the city is becoming a true cultural destination, one where world-class performances arrive naturally. 자, 오늘 더 인터뷰는 뮤지컬 위키드의 배우 Sheridan Adams 그리고 Liam Head와 함께합니다, 여러분. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Joining us in the studio today, we have the stars of Wicked, Sheridan Adams and Liam Head. Welcome, welcome.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. I am so excited, and I have never seen our staff so excited here in this studio. Thank you so much for being here. Could you start by greeting our listeners and briefly introducing yourselves and your role?
Of course. Hello, my name is Sheridan Adams and I play Elphaba.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Liam Head and I play Fiero.
Yes, Fiero. We're very excited. It's an honor to have the stars who bring Elphaba and, of course, Fiero to life right here in the studio. Lots of excited listeners messaging in through Kakao and pound 9050 as well. Now, what were your first impressions when you arrived in Busan? Let's hear from Sheridan first.
I loved it. It really reminded me of home, which was quite nice, especially to be by the beach. Obviously, in Australia, we have lots of beaches surrounding our coastline. And I've missed the cold of home. I'm from Melbourne, so I love a Melbourne winter and a Melbourne fall.
Yes.
So it just feels like the perfect place. I love it.
I can tell. So we're all bundled up and you are just
free.
comfortable in your skin. Yes, I love that. I love that.
We've been skipping the winter for a while.
Yeah.
Because we went from Perth, which was very, very warm, to Singapore, which is warm, to then Seoul, which was warm.
And we had Brisbane before Perth,
Yeah.
so it was just months of hot.
And so now
yeah.
we've finally found the cold again.
That's good. And you're here at a perfect timing because it started getting cold this week, actually, and a little bit of last week. So, yes, welcome to Busan. How about you, Liam?
Yeah, I'm loving it here. When we were in Seoul, I came down for a weekend trip to Gwengali Beach, and it was stunning. It was beautiful. I love it. The people are great. It's laid back. It's relaxed, friendly.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
And right before the interview, you mentioned you tried some of the exotic food here.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, no, I had some of the octopus and
산낙지. Yes.
and the sea urchin.
Uh-huh.
It was
Interesting.
Interesting. I'll try anything.
Yeah.
At least once.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. It was fun.
Was it difficult?
Yeah, I guess.
difficult.
Was it difficult to chew?
It was difficult to chew.
Yes.
It got stuck to my teeth and my mouth, and it was cool.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'll be racing back to try it again.
I'm glad you tried.
Yeah,
Yes.
as am I.
At least once.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, let's talk about Wicked. Wicked is well known for playfully flipping the Wizard of Oz from a completely different perspective. So could you introduce the show and share what message you believe it hopes to deliver to the audience?
Wicked to me, well, first of all, for the audience, Wicked is the story of the Wizard of Oz, as you've just said, but it kind of tells the story of our two witches, better known maybe as the Wicked Witch of the West and Glinda the Good, and it kind of peeks behind the Emerald Curtain to see what happened before Dorothy dropped in. And the message that I hope audiences, can gain from it, I think it's hard to kind of pin it down to one thing. I think Wicked explores so many complex themes. But for me, I think the message that really hits home is Elphaba's ability to rise above, as you've described, her hardship and her trauma and her pain, and create something really, really beautiful from that, no matter the cost or the consequence to her or to her worldview. So that's something I'd like people to take away from it right now.
Beautifully put. How about you, Liam?
There are two main takeaways for me in the show. One being the power of friendship. I love it so much. You have this beautiful friendship between Elphaba and Glinda, and they rely on each other so much, and they love each other so deeply, and they kind of stab each other in the backs a few times. But in that, there's so much love that I think what it identifies to me is that you really need someone in this life, to a friend, a deep friend, to rely on and yell at, and get messy with and be like, oh, I hate you, but I love you. And just to have that person, to experience life with is really pivotal. And then the other side of it, there's a massive emphasis on government and politics and truth and freedom of speech, which is always topical.
Right.
And I think it handles that really well. It puts it in this land that we don't associate with, so we can look at it and we can be like, oh, that's not very good, is it? And then you kind of go, I wonder if that's happening in my life. And maybe you can see it or not, but yeah, it makes you think.
Right. Combination of friendship, truth, and questioning authority. Definitely timeless. No wonder audiences connect with it across cultures and also generations as well. Now, Elphaba is shunned for her green skin, but gifted with extraordinary magic. So if you had to describe her in just one sentence, who is she?
I think we meet Elphaba as this kind of hopeful, joyful young woman. I mean, we're meeting her as she goes to university. And then I think as the story progresses, she becomes someone who is very resilient and grounded and steps into her power. And like I said, is able to kind of stand up for what she believes in no matter what could happen to her. So I think I would describe her as a really, really incredible and brave young woman, which I think a lot of people can hopefully identify with in their life as well.
Absolutely. That's perfect. I love that. And Fiyero first appears to be this flashy, popular prince, right? So could you describe his charm early in the show and then how he begins to change after meeting Elphaba?
Yeah. Well, he's got that irresistible charm, right? Which I try to do. I'm not sure if I do it too well. Yeah, he's a prince. He's been given everything he's ever wanted. He's had no real adversity, and he kind of meets Elphaba, and sees her standing up for things and people and truth and justice, and he kind of goes, that's interesting. You can do that. I won't. That's fine. And then something happens where he goes, maybe there's more to life than just dancing through it. Maybe I have a voice and I have power. Maybe I can use that to help other people live the way I do, which is not caring, not worrying. Yeah.
I love that. That transformation, I think, is also what makes his story more relatable as well. Now, listeners, if you're just tuning into Busan Worldwide, we are here in the studio with the stars of Wicked, Sheridan Adams and Liam Head. Now, Wicked has been loved for 22 years around the world. So what do you think is the magic that keeps audiences returning? And as actors, why do you think the show continues to capture people across generations?
I think it's for the reason we've just spent a good 5 minutes discussing. I think it's the themes that it explores. They're so complex and they're so nuanced. And I think it explores what it is to be human and what it is to live and to be alive and all of its ugliness as well as its beauty.
Yeah.
And I think, like you've said, that's relatable no matter where you live, no matter how old you are, whether it was 22 years ago or to now. And I think that is the key of what makes any piece of art timeless. It's our ability as humans to look at it, reflect, and see how that relates to us now.
Right.
And of course, you have the gorgeous, the costumes and the timeless feel. Also, the fact that it's set in a magical land of Oz. So it's not a period piece. The costumes are so otherworldly. The music is also very otherworldly. I know Stephen Schwartz specifically scored it and composed it to have a very, very different sound, like nothing he'd ever heard before. So I think with a mixture of all of those things, it's a very unique piece of theatre that continues to live on, and I think it will live on for a very, very long time after this as well.
Definitely. Like you said, you can enjoy it at any age, right? And still take something profoundly human away. How about you, Liam?
Well, it has the the bonus of being IP that we all grew up on, The Wizard of Oz. I remember watching that as a kid. It's funny, actually. I was talking to a mate the other day. With the success of the film, the Wicked movies, there are now kids being introduced to The Wizard of Oz through Wicked, which is really foreign,
right?
And I reckon Stephen Schwartz would be pinching himself, going, "Wow, this is what we've created now." But it's a classic story, a timeless story that we all grew up on, and my grandma would watch the film with me, and then my wife, she dressed up as Dorothy when she was 5 at her, dress up thing. It's such a pivotal part of our culture.
Right.
I think that naturally intrigues us to go, I wonder.
Yeah, I wonder. Well, Wicked is known for its spectacular sets and costumes, as you mentioned. So on stage, what moment, set piece, or costume makes you think, wow, this really feels like magic?
Guys, I'm really biased. I'm really biased. But I think the magical moment of Defying Gravity is it's truly breathtaking. As an audience member myself, I've seen it. I saw it when I was 16 for the first time, and I was very, very lucky to be able to see it in Singapore and also see it in New York City within the past year, actually. So it's very, very familiar to me now. And seeing Elphaba fly is just, it's otherworldly. And that is a moment where the set comes in, you have incredible lighting, you have the fabulous costume. I mean, you have her iconic hat and her cape, you have the broom, you have the orchestra, you have the ensemble underneath singing this incredible, this score. Hey! Yeah. It's a moment that is very hard to compare. I think a lot of musicals have actually tried to recreate that kind of spectacular moment. And my family have come many, many times, and I know I'm their daughter and their girlfriend and their family member, but every time she rises, they are just hit with this wave of emotion. And I love hearing it when the curtain comes down and the applause, and you hear the whispers, and you just know that's why I do what I do. And I'm very grateful that I get to create that moment for people every night. It's sorry guys, I'm biased, but it's true.
I'm in my dressing room,
it's the greatest.
Reading my book or something, and I'm like down a floor, whatever, and Defying Gravity finishes, and I'm ages away, and I hear the
Actually, I mentioned it right before the interview. In New York City in 2019, I watched Wicked, and I remember that song, and I remember crying because, not because it's of course it's amazing and it's just wonderful, but just being alive and being there and hearing that song in person.
It's gonna make me emotional.
I was like so happy that I was crying. And yes, listeners, you have to see it in person, and they are here in Busan, so I highly recommend it. I'm sorry for making you cry here in the studio.
No, like just the sentence of being alive.
Yes,
like
but
that
that's
is
how
what
I
we.
felt.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
just being there, being able to hear it in person and experiencing. I felt so much joy in my heart. Yes. So, how about you, Liam?
Well, after that, I'm a sucker for overtures in musicals, and my favorite part is the opening when the map comes out and the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and you just see that and you go, oh my gosh, what will this next 2.5 hours hold? That's my favorite part. It's just the magic of that. It's the culmination of seeing the costumes for the first time and seeing the set and seeing the lights and hearing the music, and you've paid a lot of money to be there,
right?
And you're excited to be there, and you've saved, and you're like, what will happen now? Yeah.
It's exciting.
When I was auditioning for the show, I would drive in my little Suzuki Swift, and I would always play No One Wants the Wicked. That orchestral section I'm like, oh my God, I want to be a part of this. And sometimes I forget that's when I heard it for the first time, the way it hit me, and I'm like, oh yeah, audiences are hearing that. We're hearing it for the 400th time, but it's kind of special to remember that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They're cool moments in our career where it's happened a few times where you'll see something and you'll be like, man, I really wish I was doing that. Oh, I get to. Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing that you can say that. And you still enjoy it, of course, every single time. Now, I'm sure our listeners are just waiting for this part. We are going to hear them a live performance here in the studio. We're going to be hearing As Long As You're Mine. Is there a behind-the-scenes story or emotion that you hope to share with audiences and listeners today?
Behind the scenes story.
Yeah, well, I was thinking when it comes to, I won't spoil too much, obviously, everyone. I want to make sure you're all seeing it for the first time. But when you do see this show, I would love audiences to think about personally how Elphaba has a moment where she is finally accepted and loved for who she is.
Is this Boogie?
Guys, I'm sorry, I can't.
What is that?
I found
You
it.
found a feather. Is that Boogie?
Is this Boogie's feather?
Can I take that home with me? I want to put it in my scrapbook.
There you are.
I'm so sorry. Guys, now Sheridan's getting something that she's always wanted, just as
I'm so
Elphaba
sorry.
does in
I
this
just fell on
song.
the ground.
Let me explain for our listeners tuning in through just radio. We have here in the studio, you can check it out on YouTube, but we found, or actually Liam found a feather. We think it's from Boogie, and Sheridan loves Boogie. Can you share about your love for Boogie real quick?
Okay, I just love him. I came to the airport. He's saying hi. I see him on the bus. I saw him on the way to the bathroom. I see him like when you go
Just
to the
everywhere,
doctor.
yes.
And I
Yeah.
I love we don't have that in Australia.
Yeah.
That playful mascot, that nature, that the kiawa. And I just,
Kiawa.
he makes me so happy. I just love him. And I found out that he is in the studio.
Yes.
And
every
I died.
Tuesday. Yes. You're going to have to come back.
I
You're gonna
will.
have to. Okay.
Tune in.
Let's go back to As
Sorry,
Long
I'm so
As You're
sorry.
Mine.
Sorry, yes.
Yes.
This is a moment where Elphaba is finally accepted for who she is, and I think someone sees her for who she is, and it's a moment of the show where she gets to experience a bit of joy and a bit of fun. And honestly, as the actress playing Elphaba, I can say those moments are few and far between within the show. So I hope the audience gets to experience that when they see the song.
Do you have anything to add to that?
I think of a backstage story. Last night was particularly funny.
What'd I
And
do?
I have to apologise. No. It's
Oh,
me.
okay.
It's me. So we kiss at the end of the show.
Oh yeah.
This is actually
Ooh.
this is
At the
actually-
end?
Yeah. No, at
Of
the end
the
of
show?
at the end of the number.
Yes. Yes.
It's quite disgusting actually.
Good. We want to know. Yes,
No,
tell
but
us.
I feel like I sneezed out a little bit, and there's a little bit of mucus or boogie.
Did not notice.
That's good. That's
You just
good.
told on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff we go
So,
through. now.
listeners, forget about that as you listen to this
romantic.
show and
It's romantic.
this song.
That's what I want you to think about. I want you to
Yes,
take away that.
Don't think about that at all. So we are going to hear it live here in the studio. So as Sheridan and Liam gets ready, please do get ready for that. We're going to be hearing As Long As You're Mine here in the studio live from the stars of Wicked, Sheridan Adams and Liam Head. And whenever you're ready, we're going to start. All right.
Thank you.
Kiss me too fiercely, hold me too tight. I need help believing you're with me tonight. My wildest dreamings could not foresee lying beside you, with you wanting me. Just for this moment, as long as you're mine, I've lost all resistance and crossed some borderline. And if it turns out it's over too fast, I'll make every last moment last, as long as you're mine.
Maybe I'm brainless, maybe I'm wise, but you've got me seeing through different eyes. under your spell, and somehow I'm feeling it's all that I felt. Every moment, as long as you're mine, I'll wake up my body and make up for lost time. Say there's no future for us as a pair. And though I may go, I don't care. Just for this moment, as long as you're mine, come be how you want to, and see how bright we shine. Borrow the moonlight until it is through. And now I'll be here holding you.
Thank you, everyone.
That is all. This is when we kiss. And this, yeah.
I am so blessed. Listeners, that was As Long As You're Mine. Live in the studio by Sheridan Adams with Liam Head, of course. And so many messages coming in just saying, amazing, lovely voice. We're going to have to go to the show and see the performance in person. We have like about 100 people standing out in front just saying amazing things. I can hear their clapping, of course. Yes, thank you so much for that. That was amazing.
Our MD's there as well. He's taking a few notes.
Yeah.
He's going,
Good, bad, good. All right. Well, thank you so much again. So good. Now, we do have to continue and ask you so many more questions. I want to continue. Now, Sheridan is 16. You're 16 and you watch Wicked. I think you mentioned it. Now you're living the life of its leading role. What went through your mind when you sang Defying Gravity in the audition room and saw the creative team's reaction?
I love this question, by the way, because I've never received it.
Oh.
So what was going through my mind?
Yeah.
There's many things. There's the Sheridan part, which was, I really hope I'm doing a good job, and I really hope they like me, and I really hope I get this job. But I had no idea that I was being considered for Elphaba, because this is my first musical, first leading role. I just wanted to be in Wicked in any capacity, any role. So that's what I was. I think maybe if I had known they were considering me for the green girl, I would have been a lot more nervous. I already was. But then there's also the part, obviously, as an actress, you step into Elphaba when you're singing that role, that song. You can't sing that song, and especially in an audition when you're on the ground and it's just you and a piano. You really have to live and breathe what she's going through at that moment. As beautiful as the song sounds, I think if you don't perform it and you don't live it, it falls quite flat. So I was also living Elphaba's truth. And I was, Jess, you weren't in the room. I'm thinking of everyone that was it was a giant panel. There were like 12 people. And I just remember thinking, I hope you all like me. But also, I was really proud of myself, and I knew that I did a good job regardless.
Right.
On top of that, you've got a camera there as well that is recording it all for the people in the States to have a look. Yeah.
It's a lot, but it's probably one of like the best times of my life.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember I was in Sydney, so I flew for the audition, and I was calling
How do you go when you fly for auditions? Do you get nervous when you fly?
No, I had to fly multiple times for Wicked, like 2 or 3 times. I'm fine. I think because it was the first time, I haven't flown since.
Yeah,
so
right.
it was also new and exciting.
Yeah.
And my voice, I know my voice so much more intimately now that I wasn't as stressed about it back then. Like I wasn't thinking about the flight and how that's going to affect me. And it was just, I still am. I'm living my dream. When you're singing Elphaba in an audition room, you're like, there's the adrenaline. There's nothing that can stop you.
Really?
It's it's amazing.
I think it's so encouraging that a star like you could be in a room and be like, oh, I hope they like me. Like, of course they like you, right?
Yeah,
but
it's
you're
hard.
auditioning,
It's something
so-
I've battled throughout this whole contract. Actually, I've learned that it's okay to not be liked, and it's
Yeah.
okay if other people don't love what you're doing. You have to do your best, and
Right.
as long as you can sleep at night, and your family and your friends, they all, are supporting you and care about you and think you're wonderful, of course. You need some kind of outside feedback, but you get to that point where you have to believe in yourself and just let it go. But
Absolutely.
baby Sheridan really hoped that they liked me at the time, yeah.
Thank you for being honest. Now, Fiero,
Yeah.
or Liam, right? Fiero may seem like a, charming, carefree prince, right? And we talked about how you are not only a musical actor, you've written, directed, produced, composed, and worked in film. So how have these diverse experiences helped you maybe portray a layered character like Fiero?
Yeah, great question. You can never really fully prepare or be ready, I think, for the next job. Everything helps. I think even beyond my previous work, creative work, my time working as a barista, or at the bar, or at school, or wherever, like everything, you learn different aspects about life that you
Right.
get to put in. I teach at the moment. I teach acting and singing.
Oh.
And one of the biggest things that we can do as actors, right, is just go to a cafe and just watch, just people watch, just observe and go, okay, how is this person reacting? How is that person reacting? What's going on there? It's also not too great. I'm not sure if you did the same thing, Shez, but if I'm ever feeling big feelings, if I'm really sad or really happy or whatever, 9 times out of 10, there'll be a little part of my brain that goes, okay, remember this, because you might need this one day when you're acting. Or like, for example, I tore my ACL last year, and I kid you not, the first thought I had was, you idiot, and then the second thought was, okay, so this is what an ACL feels like. If I ever have to act, I know it sounds just ridiculous, but I was like, okay, this is cool. And then I remember thinking, okay, I can't do too much on it. This is what's happening here. So my point being, everything in life helps you. You add tools to the tool belt so that you can step into Fiero and you can give it your best crack.
And nothing is in vain.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. It's a great perspective to have in life as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to think like that. I'm going to be like,
Yeah.
like take notes. Anything happens, I'm going to use it for my radio, right? So we do have to wrap up pretty soon, but I do want to ask, could you share a message for the Busan audience who will meet you very, very soon? We have lots of messages saying we're going to be there. Great to see you guys here in Busan, in Korea. So can you share a message?
I just want to say hello, and we can't wait to show Wicked to all of you. This is the first time Wicked has ever been in Busan, I believe, English language or Korean production.
Right.
So we're just so thrilled to be able to bring this magical production to you all, and we can't wait to see you out in the audience.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming to see us and giving us so much love. It's so beautiful. It's so wonderful, yeah.
There's no show without an audience.
Yes, definitely. And before we let you go, though, I do want to ask you today's text topic, which is, what do you consider your own irresistible charm or quality? Let's start with Sheridan.
I don't know.
I've got one for you.
You go.
Your eyes are beautiful.
Yes, they are.
Thank you. But I
They
was thinking more like
Personality.
human
yeah.
being.
Yeah, I know, I
But
know.
thank you. I do love my eyes. When you're green, when not everyone has that experience, but being painted green by my incredible makeup artist Yonu, I have to give her a shout out before I go. I do. You feel beautiful green, and I do fall in love with my eyes, if I can be a little egotistical for a moment. But I think one thing I love about myself is sometimes my naivety, my childish youth, which I know is sometimes in society viewed as very much negative, but I'm learning to lean into that, and my partner inspires that in me as well.
I love that.
I'm often scared about doing things, but I often push myself to do it. And so I think I appreciate that about myself. Yeah, if that's kind of answers the question.
Even when you're scared, you try to do it.
Yeah.
You only live once.
Well, you tried the octopus. Like you
tried the
Yes,
octopus.
you did. Yeah.
So true.
Well, that's going to do it for today's The Interview. I don't want to let you guys go, but we do have to wrap up today's interview with Wicked cast members Sheridan Adams and Liam Head. Thank you so much for being here today. Bye. Listeners, welcome back to the studio, to Busan Worldwide. I'm your host, Stephanie Yoon. Listeners, it's been my joy and honor being here in the studio and being with you all, just hearing them sing as well as hearing their background stories, right? So it was wonderful. Now, listeners, let's check out some of the messages coming in. Lots of messages. We have wearing a baseball cap name messaging in. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for messaging in. And they're just saying hello, as well as really liking my voice. Oh, I was really focused on our stars today. We also have Soyeon님 messaging in. Grateful to see Sheridan and Liam on stage in Busan. Yes, me too. Lots of green hearts coming in. We have Lee Jungnim saying, wow, great. And Jenny and Hong Kong님 saying, bravo, bravo. Also saying, 아침에 이렇게 열창하시다니, right? It's not easy in the morning. And they just sounded wonderful. 사랑대우님 saying, lovely voice and singing, yes, yes, yes. And April Kim님, of course, saying heart, 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 heart as well. Well, listeners, thank you so much for messaging in. And I'm grateful for Busan Worldwide team to have a star and 2 stars here in the studio. With that, let's jump into our next segment. And now it's time for Busan Update. Busan City will hold a special lecture on franchise CEO strategies and understanding the Franchise Business Act on November 26th. 네, 부산시는 오는 11월 26일 프랜차이즈 CEO 전략과 가맹사업법 이해 특강을 개최합니다. Now, the event aims to support stable growth in the local franchise industry and strengthen fair business practices. It will share practical strategies for operating a successful franchise and help participants understand key legal issues to prevent disputes. Registration is free until November 21st on the Busan City website under the Fair Trade Notice section, and the lecture is open to local franchise headquarters and industry professionals. That's it for today's Busan Update.
BEFM's The Interview is waiting for your participation. If you have any interesting stories to tell or unique experiences you'd like to share with our listeners, please leave a message on our website at www.befm.or.kr. We hope that your lives and experiences can be an inspiration for our listeners.
Welcome back to Busan Worldwide. And listeners, we're going to be starting Correspondent Reports segment. Let's turn to Singapore for the latest updates. Our correspondent April is on the line. 네, 오늘은 싱가포르 소식 들어보겠습니다. 싱가포르에서 에이프릴 통신원 안녕하십니까?
안녕하세요. 에이프릴입니다.
네, 반갑습니다. So we have Miss April in connected now. Let's start with the first story. South Korea and Singapore announced a significant agreement during this summit. So what are the details? 네, 첫 번째 소식 볼게요. 한국과 싱가포르가 이번 정상회담에서 의미 있는 합의를 발표했다고 합니다. 어떤 내용인가요?
네, 양국은 이번 회담을 통해 관계를 전략적 동반자 관계로 공식 격상했습니다. 국제 질서가 흔들리는 상황에서 안보, 경제, 첨단 기술 등 여러 분야에서 함께 대응하자는 데 의견이 모였고요. 특히 싱가포르는 한국의 한반도 평화 노력에 전폭적인 지지를 표하며 더욱 긴밀한 협력 의지를 나타냈습니다.
그렇군요. So the two nations officially upgraded their relationship to a strategic partnership through this summit. Amidst the shifting international order, there was a consensus to jointly respond across various sectors, including security, the economy, and advanced technology. Singapore expressed full support for South Korea's peace efforts on the Korean peninsula, indicating a commitment to closer cooperation. Well, was there any cooperation content that would be of particular interest to Korean listeners? 우리 한국 청취자분들이 특히 관심 가질 만한 협력 내용도 있었죠?
네, 맞습니다. 네, 가장 눈에 띄는 건 제주산 쇠고기와 돼지고기의 첫 싱가포르 수출 합의인데요. 싱가포르의 검역 기준이 까다롭다는 점을 고려하면 의미가 정말로 큽니다. 이 밖에도 온라인 스캠 대응 협력, AI 디지털 협력, MOU 체결, 그리고 해운 물류 분야의 녹색 디지털 항로 구축 협력 등 실질적인 협력들이 다수 포함됐습니다.
그렇군요. 두 나라가 한층 더 가까워지는 모습이 인상적인데요. So the most notable point is the agreement for the first ever export of Jeju beef and pork to Singapore. This is highly significant considering Singapore's stringent quarantine standards. And in addition, numerous practical cooperations were included, such as collaboration in tackling online scams, signing an MOU for AI and digital cooperation, and establishing a green and digital shipping corridor in the maritime and logistics sector. With that, let's jump into our next topic. Now, we're going to look at a cultural issue that occurred in Singapore. U.S. pop star Ariana Grande had an unpleasant experience in Singapore, so tell us a bit about this. 다음은 싱가포르에 있었던 문화계 이슈를 살펴보겠습니다. 미국 팝스타 아리아나 그란데가 싱가포르에서 좋지 않은 일을 겪었다고 들었는데요. 이 소식 전해주시죠.
네, 싱가포르에서 열린 영화 위키드 포 굿 시사회에서 한 남성 팬이 경호라인을 뚫고 아리아나 그랜데에게 달려드는 일이 있었습니다. 그녀의 어깨를 잡고 점프하는 모습이 영상에 그대로 찍혔고 아리아나는 놀란 표정을 감추지 못했는데요. 해당 남성은 이후 이 장면을 본인의 SNS에 올리면서 논란을 키우기도 했습니다.
그렇군요. So at the premiere of the film Wicked for Good, we've been talking about Wicked as well. Actually, in Singapore, a male fan broke through the security line and rushed at Ariana Grande. And the moment he grabbed her shoulder and jumped was captured on video. And Ariana Grande couldn't hide her shocked expression. The man later escalated the controversy by posting the footage on his own social media. Now, what decision did the Singapore court make regarding this incident? 싱가포르 법원은 이 사건에 대해서 어떤 결정을 내렸나요?
다행히도 네, 싱가포르 법원은 이 남성 존슨 웬에게 공공질서 교란 혐의로 징역 9일형을 선고했습니다. 판사께서는 그가 유사한 행동을 반복해왔다는 점을 지적하며 이번 사건 역시 명확한 책임이 따른다고 판단했습니다. 싱가포르가 공공질서와 안전을 매우 엄격하게 다루는 국가라는 점이 다시 한 번 더 확인된 순간이었고요. 그리고 무엇보다 소셜미디어에서나 아니면 싱가포르 모든 분들께서 이 사람의 징역을 원하는 그런 의견들이 많았기 때문에 어떻게 보면 당연한 결정이었다고 생각합니다.
그렇군요. So the Singapore court sentenced the man, Johnson, went to 9 days in jail on charges of public nuisance. And the judge pointed out that he had repeatedly engaged in similar behavior and determined that this incident also carried clear accountability. So it was a moment that reaffirmed Singapore's status as a country that handles public order and safety with great strictness. And as our reporter mentioned, there was a lot of maybe protests and people sharing on social media that he should get some kind of charge, right, with this type of action. So definitely our reporter agrees with the sentencing. And that's going to do it for today's Correspondent Reports, connecting with our reporter based in Singapore. And that's going to do it. 오늘은 여기까지 듣겠습니다. 소식 잘 들었습니다. 고맙습니다.
네, 감사합니다. 지금까지 싱가포르 통신원 에이프릴이었습니다.
All right, and that concludes today's updates from Singapore. Now we have, let's check it out. We have 진리님 messaging in. 최고의 게스트분들의 등장으로 늘 놀라서 기절이라고 보내주셨어요. 그리고 에이프릴 통신원님 목소리에 깨어났다고 하는데요. Well, welcome, and I'm so glad you are back. And we also have Jenny and Kongkong님 just messaging in as well. Let's check out some of the messages to pound 9050. So we have 9769번님 messaging in. I'm going to be heading down from Seoul to Busan to see this cast. So they're going to be visiting Busan to see them. Can't wait to see them at the Dream Theater. And they share Sheridan is the best. Oh yeah, Alphabet, of course, in my entire life. Very great to hear from that. Yes, I definitely agree. It was such a joy to hear them live in the studio as well. We also have lots of messages. 6167번님. They are messaging in about today's text topic. So we are talking about what is the one irresistible quality you possess. And we have 6167번님. 누가 봐도 공감 능력인 것 같습니다. 그걸 제가 가지고 있습니다. 라고 보내주셨어요. You know, I think this is very important. 공감 능력, right? So just really connecting and understanding, having that empathy, right, with other people is definitely not easy. When it comes to, in Korea we say T and F, right? T들은 좀 이해를 못할 수도 있어요. 근데 F, for them, is very important. And for T's to really understand F's, I think that's going to be really important as well. We also have 5883번님. 저는 목소리가 치명적이랍니다. 따뜻하고 아름다운 목소리라고 보내주셨어요. I would love to hear your voice. Maybe you can send us your voice or a clip of your voice one day. We'd love to hear it. Well, listeners, that's going to do it for today's show. We'll be back tomorrow for Friday edition at 11:05 a.m. Final song for today is by Radiohead with High and Dry. Bye-bye.
Jumps in a week, bet you think that's pretty clever, don't you, boy? Flying on your motorcycle, watching all the ground beneath.
Your best choice. BEFM, 부산영어방송.